Hello students. In 11th lecture on this calculus of variation and mechanics, where we are mainly going to discuss certain generalizations of the basic Euler equation. First we consider this functional involving higher order derivatives, and then second generalization is regarding functional having more than two dependent functions of a variable and their first order derivatives. And also we are having certain illustrative examples regarding both these generalizations, and the concerned unsolved exercises are also given in this lecture. So first in the very basic functional form, in the very basic functional form of Euler equation, we have that Iy equal to a to b f of x y y dash dx. So this is the main idea or main basic functional, and in this basic functional we have one dependent variable y, and y depends on x. Y dash is derivative of y, means we are having only up to first order derivative. Then for this case, the basic Euler equation is curly f over curly y minus d by dx of curly f over curly y dash equal to 0. Now, there can be situations like the first one, that we are taking the functional in this form where y is the dependent variable and x is independent variable. Then this functional is involving the higher order derivatives, means derivatives up to order n, y dash y double dash y n. Now question is, if this kind of functional appears in any problem, then what will be the form of Euler equation, and then how this Euler equation can be extended to solve this type of functional form. Here the integrand f is n plus 2 times differentiable with respect to the arguments. Here arguments, there are n plus 2 arguments are there. N are these y dash y double dash up to n, and x and y. Therefore it must have derivatives n plus 2 times differentiable. And you see the boundary condition is also given, means y at a is a naught, y dash at a1 at a is given this, y n value of n minus 1 at derivative, etc. Similarly y at b is b naught, y dash b is b1, etc. And these are the boundary conditions. If the boundary conditions are prescribed, then for this functional one, the Euler equation takes this form. It means if in a numerical problem you are given that there is involvement of derivatives up to nth order, the equation is this. But usually in numerical problems you will not see the derivatives up to order n, either you will see derivative up to order 2 or second order derivative, third order derivative, maybe fourth order derivative. So accordingly this Euler equation can be reduced. For example, generally you will have the differentiation of up to order 2, so means you have n equal to 2 here. Then for n equal to 2, how we get this equation? Up to n equal to 2, we can have the derivatives up to the terms here. So you see, if we have Iy, the functional in this form, means you are having derivative up to second order, y double dash. Then the Euler equation reduces to the following form, means this equation will be restricted up to this term only, and right hand side is 0. If it would have been a third order derivative, then that one more term would have been added, d cube by dx cube of curly f over y curly triple dash. So in this way, this Euler equation 2a is for this type of functional where you have the involvement of derivatives up to order 2, second order of the derivatives. So now you see the concept will be more clear with the help of an illustrative example. Example 1, you see, find the extremal of a functional iy equal to this 0 to 1 plus y double dash square dx, and here you are given the boundary conditions that y at 0 is 0, y dash at 0 is 1, y1 is 0, and y dash at 1 is 1. Now if we solve it, here we are given that capital F is 1 plus y double dash square. This is capital F. We use the Euler equation given in equation 2a here. So in this, in order to apply this equation, you have to calculate from f curly f by curly y, then curly f over curly y dash, then curly f over curly y double dash, and you have to substitute all the values in equation this, and subsequently we will get some term here. So we have the Euler equation 2a. I am again rewriting it. This is the equation. Now f is this. Now we calculate all the values from f, because f is this here 1 plus y double dash square. So curly f over curly y is 0, curly f over curly y dash is 0 again, and curly f over curly y double dash equal to 2y double dash. Now substituting these values in equation 2a, so we have this thing is 0, this thing is 0, because curly f over curly y dash is 0, then we have the value of this term only, curly f over curly y dash. So you can see when you put this value, the equation reduces to this form. This is already a second order derivative. Y double dash stands for d square y by dx square. So if we simplify this, we get this term over here. Then this is fourth order derivative d4y by dx square. Now how to solve this? It means we can solve this differential equation just by simply integrating on both sides 4 times with respect to x, and consequently now we are calling this as equation a1. We get this solution, y equal to y equal to a plus bx plus cx square plus dx cube. This is equation a2. Here a, b, c, d are arbitrary constants. Now differentiating a2 with respect to x, then we get y dash equal to b plus 2cx plus 3dx square. Now question arises, why we are differentiating it? Because solution of a functional is in terms of a function that is already there in equation a2. Why we are differentiating? We are differentiating it to apply the boundary condition. Just recall the boundary condition. What were the boundary conditions given in the statement? So this boundary conditions were y at 0 is 0, y at 1 is 1. So in boundary condition you are also given that y dash 0 is 1, y dash 1 is also equal to 1. So therefore, to apply this boundary condition, you need to compute the value of y dash. So that is why we are calculating this y dash here. Okay, when you have calculated y dash over here, so now applying these boundary conditions, we are going to obtain value of the arbitrary constants a, b, c, and d. Put x equal to 0 in equation a2. In equation a2, x equal to 0, 0, 0 here, 0 here. But in right hand side, basically this is y is a function of x. So when you are putting y x equal to 0 in left hand side, you will write here y at 0 means x is 0, and in right hand side you are putting value of x is 0, and consequently you have a, and in right hand side y at 0. But y at 0 is given to be 0 in the given condition, so you are putting in place of y0 is 0, so a0, that means you have obtained value of a equal to 0. Now if you substitute this value of a in the equation a2, then this reduces to this form. Now we are calling this equation as a4, right? So the original function, the solution function, is reduces to this form. Now again we are having 3 constant that we have to determine with other 3 boundary conditions. So next we are putting x equal to 1 in equation a4. a4 means this equation, this equation after substituting this value of a equal to 0 here. So in this equation x equal to 1, so after putting x equal to 1, we are getting this type of equation here. So y of 1 in the given condition, given boundary condition is given here, y of 1 equal to 1. So that way, when we are putting y equal to 1, y of 1 is 1 over here, and p plus c plus d equal to 0. So we are getting this equation number A5. Now we apply the other boundary condition for the function y dash. Now put x equal to 0 in A3, we get y dash 0 equal to b plus 0 plus 0. But y dash 0 is given to be 1 in the boundary condition. So b equal to 1. So we have obtained value of b. A equal to 0 already, we have already obtained. So now we put b equal to 1 in this equation. So we get 1 plus c plus d plus 1, and consequently c plus d equal to 0. That implies d equal to minus c. Now again, apply the next boundary condition. We put x equal to 1 in A3. We get y dash 1 equal to b plus 2c into 1 plus 3d into 1 square. But y dash 1 is again given to be 1. So applying the putting the values over here, we have this type of form. But here we have already obtained that d equal to minus c. Substituting d equal to minus c over here, so this equation in this form. So consequently, we have obtained here value of c. Now so far we have obtained value of a is 0, b is 1, c is 0. Now base c, but there is relationship between d and c. So when c is 0, then definitely d is also going to be 0. So therefore d is equal to 0. Now we have determined the all arbitrary constants a, b, and a, b, c, and d as follows: a0, b is 1, c is 0, d is 1. Substituting these values in equation a2 is the original uh, form here that was obtained. So the final solution of the functional is y equal to x. After putting these values of arbitrary constants in equation a2, we get y equal to x. So this is solution of this type of the problem. So now according to in view of this illustrative example, you can try certain exercises, and here we have involvement of second order derivative, second order, but in these two problems we have third order of the derivative. So similarly, the boundary conditions are also extended up to y double dash, but in this problem there is no boundary condition, so you can leave the solution only up to y. No need to determine. In this case, I write here, no need to determine, no need to determine arbitrary constants. So you can leave the solution just by calculating y equal to whatever it is. So now the next generalization is functionals having more than two functions and their first order derivatives. So because function involve more than one function, you see y1 in the basic form we had only I of y, means, and in right hand side we had a to b f of x y y dash, and in the last case we have generalized for that we are involving the derivatives of higher order, right? But now here the generalization is in this form that the involvement of functions is more, means more functions are involved in the given functional. So let the more functions are y1, y2, and yn, means there is involvement of n functions, and basically these are n dependent functions, and uh, on a variable, these functions are depending on a variable x, and also the first order derivatives of these functions are also there in the functional. And you are given the boundary condition yi at a is ai, yi at b is bi, means y1 at a is a1, y2 at a means a2, y3, etc., etc. So these are the and two end boundary conditions basically. We also know that the necessary and sufficient condition we have already established in our previous lectures. The necessary and sufficient condition for recurve y equal to yi to be extremal of a functional as given in 3, it satisfies the condition del I equal to 0. That means variation of the functional is 0. Means del of I equal to 0. Now if you simplify this, we know that this del, the variation is commutative with integral. You can take this del inside and integral outside so that it reduces to this form. Now when you simplify this, we get this type of equation. And from these equations, when we integrate by parts these terms, we are integrating this by part, we are integrating this by part, integrating this by part. So it becomes an extended case of proof of Euler's equation, the basic Euler equation. So after simplifying this, we get n equations, and those n equations can be written in this form: curly f over curly y minus d by dx curly f over curly y dash yi dash equal to 0, I equal to 1 to n. So basically these are n Euler equations. These are n Euler equations. When you put I equal to 1, so one equation for the first variable, because as I told you in the beginning that there is involvement of n dependent functions y1, y2 and yn. These functions are depending on the independent variable x. So there will be n Euler equations. And if the already you know, if a functional involve only one function y and its derivatives, then there is one Euler equation. But in this case we have n functions, so we are getting n Euler equation. Just replace I with 1, 2, 3 up to n, we get n Euler equations. Now as far as the implication of these type of equation is concerned, it is better to consider the situation in terms of only two functions. Let n equal to t2, then equation 3 can be put in this form y1, y2, and in right hand side we get this type of situation. So it is not necessary that in a given problem you are given y1 and y2, but you should understand that y1 is one function, y2 is another function of x. So instead simply you write if y1 is yx and y2 is zx. So we can write this functional in this form, that I of yz equal to a to b f of x y z y dash z dash dx. I'm calling this equation as tan a. So in view of this functional, definitely there are two functions. This functional I involves two functions y and z. So in view of the above discussion, here we must obtain two Euler equations as follows. One is for y and another is for z. Using both these Euler equations, we shall find the extremal of the functional of the form given in equation 10a. Now, if boundary conditions are not given or boundary conditions are not prescribed, then the arbitrary constants obtained in the solutions can be further computed by applying the natural boundary conditions. You know that for one Euler equation of this form, the boundary conditions are in this form. This one and this one. These are the natural boundary conditions. But here we have involvement of two Euler equations. So for the second one, the two natural boundary conditions are these. So in fact, for this type of the problem, we will have these four natural boundary conditions, and depending upon the problem, if all the four boundary conditions are not given, we will apply all the four. If you are given that y at a equal to something, that you will not apply this condition, the rest of the three will be applied. If you are given y at a is something and y at b is something, you are given, the condition is given, then you will not apply these two. In the same manner, depending on the situation in the problem, you can apply these boundary condition. all, and it is keep in mind, it is not necessary that all the conditions will be applied in a problem. It is sometimes only two conditions may be applied, sometimes three, sometimes one, and sometimes all the four may be applied. So you can see one illustrative example in view of this discussion, because we have reduced this generalized form for the two functions. The example one, we have considered this example that is involving the two variables y and z, and this is the functional given here, and these are the boundary conditions. These are the given boundary conditions. Given boundary conditions are. So now if we try to solve this, then definitely we have two Euler equations here. One is curly f over curly y minus d by dx curly f over curly y dash equal to 0. So clearly here f is y dash square plus z dash square, and if you find curly f over curly y, that will be 0, and curly f over curly y dash, that is equal to 2y dash. Now if we substitute this and this over here, we get 0 minus d by dx, and this is 2y dash. Y dash means dy by dx, that means this is second order derivative. So from here you can get 2y double dash equal to 0, but 2 cannot be 0, so you can simply write this thing, y dash double dash equal to 0. Exactly in the same manner, corresponding to z, we have the Euler equation curly f over curly z minus d by dx of curly f over curly z dash equal to 0. So using this equation exactly in the same manner as earlier, you can get this form y z double dash 0. So in this way, by solving this, this is simple nothing, but you can write d square y by dx square equal to 0, integrating two times with respect to x, we get this form. Similarly, we get zx equal to this. Now here is involvement of four constants c1, c2, c3, c4. By applying the boundary conditions as given in equation, using the boundary conditions given in equation number, this is not 10, this is equation number 12. Given in equation number 12, we get values of arbitrary constant, and once we put the values of arbitrary constant, the functionals are the extremals are these. Now from these extremals, you know y is x and z equal to 2x. That means you can write 2x equal to 2y equal to z. Because of these two, the relation is this. And you can see from the knowledge of geometry that we can put it in the form, if we divide it by 2, then it is x equal to y equal to z by 2, and this is the form x minus 0 by 1, y minus 0 by 1, and z minus 0 by 2. So you can say this is the equation of a straight line. This is the equation of a straight line passing through origin, because this 0 0 and 0, this it means it is passing through origin, and these are the direction ratios or the direction cosines of the equation. This is clear from the knowledge of the three-dimensional geometry. So extremal of this particular problem is a straight line passing through origin. Now similarly, we can solve this example 2. Here again we are given the functional depends on two functions y and z and their first order derivatives, and the boundary conditions are given like this. Here f is this. Now Euler equation are these. We find the values of curly f over curly f over y dash, this and this. The values are here. We substitute these in the values, so we get equation like this. The first reduces to this form and reduces to this form. Now here problem is that you cannot directly solve this equation as a differential equation, but because one variable is y and another is z. So let us from these two equations, let us form an equation in terms of a single variable, a single function, you can say. Here you can see y is equal to z double dash, or you can say z equal to y double dash. So take value of one variable from either from equation 5 or 6 and substitute in the other. You see in the next, we are given in equation 5 z equal to y double dash. This is equation 5 and equation 6 is this. Now you see from here z is equal to y double dash. Now we call this equation as 5a. Now, if we put this value z equal to y double dash in equation 6 here, so it reduces to y as such, and minus, in place of z you are writing y double dash, and then again the whole y double dash, means it is second derivative of y, and again you are taking the derivative two times, so it becomes a 4-time derivative of y. In fact, this is d4y by dx4, y minus this. You can write it in this form. In symbolic form, you can write d4 minus 1 y equal to 0. So auxiliary equation for this is d4 minus 1 equal to 0. Now we are solving it this on this side. So you see, we are having d4 minus 1 equal to 0. You can write it as d square square minus 1 square. So here you can apply the formula that a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So using that formula, you can write in d square minus 1, d square plus 1. So equating both these to 0 individually, we are getting d equal to plus minus 1 and d equal to plus minus iota. So from the knowledge of the linear homogeneous differential equations with constant coefficients, so the solution of this equation 7 is given by y equal to a e raised to power x plus b e raised to power minus x. This is corresponding to this part where d equal to plus minus 1, and corresponding to this part we are having plus c cos x plus d sin x. So this equation 8 gives the value of y, but here we have two functions y and z. We also need to find the value of function z. So how to find it? Since y is there, now if we differentiate it two times, so we get y double dash. If we are differentiating this right hand side two times, we are getting this type of equation. Now we have obtained value of y double dash. So why we are obtaining value of y double dash? Because we are already given, we want to find the value of function z, and we are given that, already given that y double dash will be equal to z. So definitely once you calculate y double dash, automatically you have obtained the value of function z. So y double dash is this. Using 5a and 9, we get z equal to this. So we are calling this as equation 10, and again I am rewriting this equation number 8 again. So here you see we have obtained value of the function y as well as the value of function z. Now applying the given boundary conditions. The boundary conditions are already given in the statement. So conditions are here: y at 0 is 0, y at pi by 2 is 1. So you apply all these conditions, you can find the arbitrary constant. So this is simple computational work. I think we need not to show the whole computation over here. I am directly writing the value of constant if you apply on these equations. So after substituting these values of a, b, c, d in equation 8 and 10, we get y is sin x and z equal to minus sin x. Or you can also say there is z is minus sin, and this is, so you can say y equal to minus z, or you can say y plus z equal to 0. So again you can say this is also an equation of plane. So that this is the desired extremal for this problem. Now example third, we again having function of we have functional depending on two functions y and z. Boundary conditions are given. So some hint is, I'm giving here some hint, not showing the whole calculation. It is very simple one. So from the Euler equation we get two equation, y double dash 0 and z. So we can easily solve this equation and get the solution, and the values of arbitrary constants can be obtained by applying these boundary conditions. So based on these illustrative examples, you have this exercise and you can solve this exercise. And these are certain references from which we have taken the material. Thank you.